Tell me what I need to know about aliens.
You are an alien.
When did you feel like you decided that enough's enough?
I just didn't understand, how is it okay for me to pretend to be somebody so I can be accepted? The energy of the earth is shifting and the world is splitting its energy into two energies, old earth and new earth. You want to be famous, you got to wear the skirt. As a man, you got to put the lipstick on, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do this, some people don't want to do it.
You can get to a point where you can observe your own body asleep.
I can turn and look down and see myself. When I first did it, I panicked, so I used to drop in my body because I was like, what the hell is going on? But it takes at least 3 years to perfect it because you have to get over steps of fear every time you try it.
Okay, do you think there's people out there that know how to do this, that are actively there trying to play you as a puppet master?
Yes. I remember once I was astral projecting, but that not by choice. It was like I was sleeping. And then I saw this woman, she was like wearing full black, like, you know, a wedding dress, but full black. Yeah. And my bed has curtains and she was standing behind the curtains and I looked at her and then she told me, basically, she looked at me, she told me, I told her, what the fuck do you want? What are you doing here? And I cannot move because I'm in sleep paralysis, right? And I can only see her with my eyes. And she's like, if you want to ascend, you cannot descend.
So if you open the portal, could an entity take over your body?
Yes. It's spirits that are dying to experience 3D. They want to touch, they want to touch a door, they want to eat, they want to drink. The reason I took over the body is because I want to live. I want a life. I want you, and you're weak. You didn't deserve it, so I took yours.
If you were to give someone a task to do and to say, look, sit down with yourself right now and figure out how you're not in alignment, what task would you give them to figure that out in the fastest possible way?
Very simple.
Sara Al Madani, we are back for episode 2. It's been a while.
I know. How long has it been?
I'd say it's been about 2 years, isn't it?
My God, time flies.
Time flies when you're having spiritual journeys, spiritual gangster journeys like you have.
Totally.
I actually, do you know what? I want to start this podcast with a tweet that I read of yours earlier. I will never water myself down so I can be digested by some people. I'd rather be authentic and watch them choke on how real I am. When you allow people to be themselves, magic happens. Where did this stem from?
It stems from how people sometimes tell you you're too much, whether you're too kind, too nice, too quiet, too loud. And, you know, they expect you to water yourself down so they can digest you. So I'd want to watch you choke on me respectfully. I'm not altering who I am to fit in anymore. And it comes from the concept of not wanting to fit in and not thriving to fit in, although society teaches us that we should. And once you wake up, you don't go back to sleep. So I don't want to change, not for an investor, not for a friend, not for a relationship, not for a parent, not for anybody. I am who I am, and I love who I am.
When did you feel like you decided that enough's enough and that was your remit for life?
It was, I'd say, like a couple of years ago when I had my like rock bottom experience, right? And I just didn't understand, how is it okay for me to pretend to be somebody so I can be accepted? How is it okay for me to lie to people so I don't upset them with the truth? How is it okay? All these small, tiny habits picked up by culture, how are they okay? Because what's right is that I should not lie. I should say the truth and remain authentic. And that should set people free. Not a lie should set them free. So, for example, if you invite me somewhere and I don't feel like going, instead of me saying, oh, my grandmother is sick, and making up lies, just say the truth. Why are we always lying to each other to satisfy each other? And I think you just look at life in this way and you go like, when did I lose myself? When was this okay? How was this fine? I think it's a point of like in a spiritual awakening, a maturity, realizing things. And I was like, why do I have to look a certain way to be accepted by certain people? And I was like, never again. Because I've done it. Until I was 26, I was looking, acting the role of who I should be, how I should be. But then I realized that's not me.
The role that you're acting, who do you think predetermined that role and set that role for you?
Your culture, your society. With women, it's men in relationships. It's so many things. It's expectation. It's family. It's you being a mother. There's certain expectation to that as well. So it's always societal expectation, stereotype, culture, traditions. But once you remove these shackles from your feet, you're free. then you're walking on your path. You don't have to look back. You don't have to wait for a pat on the shoulder. You don't have to wait for an instruction. You don't have to wait for anything. You don't have to look back to see if everyone's okay with what you're doing. You just keep walking. And I realized once I started walking away from all these things, I just loved the sound of my footsteps.
Yeah, it's a beautiful analogy of lives, isn't it? I love the sound of my footsteps when I'm walking away for things that don't empower me.
Totally. And I will not deny it's scary. The first time I wanted to break the mold, the first time I wanted to free myself, it was very scary. It was very uncomfortable because imagine 30-something years I've been told this is right, and now I'm like, what if it's not? So it's kind of hard, but once you start applying it, you start feeling very empowered internally, and you start to trust yourself. Like, how can you trust me if I don't trust myself? You know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense.
And you found that you'd lived 26 years of your life without trusting who you were internally.
My intuition always told me, do this, be this, think this, look at this. But I've always like numbed it down and like silenced that voice of intuition. And I've always confirmed with society. Confirmed with it, and I was fitting the line, fitting the culture, looking like it, acting like it. But then that's not me.
Is that why you pursued getting tattoos after that period?
It's not the reason I got tattoos. I've always loved them. My first one was when I was 15, but then I wanted to get more. But then my next one was when I was 20. My third one was when I was 27. And then I was like, why am I waiting all this time? And you know what I was doing? When I got my first one was this one here. So I got this. And every time I'm sitting, I would look around. I would look at people, how they would perceive it. And then I would go to a different setting, see how they would perceive it. And I was always on hold, waiting for someone to accept it. But then after 27, after my spiritual awakening and my healing journey starting and being in my 30s, I just started getting them very frequent not because I want to prove a point or I'm rebelling towards a society or whatever. No, it's because I love it. I love it so much, and I decided to do it and not to wait.
Because tattoos are inherently attached to trauma in a lot of scenarios, aren't they? Like by
jail, trauma.
Society says that, if someone gets an external thing put on their body, it's a reflection of their internal feeling that they've not processed, so they put it on their external body. Obviously tattoos are also associated with pain, and people want to feel the pain when they get them. But how did you become comfortable with the fact that they weren't a trauma response and they were actually for you, not a trauma response?
Because most of my I look at, for me, I'm not a body, I'm a spirit, right? So this body, I can modify it, just like I modify a car, modify a house. You might walk into my house not like my blue wallpaper, but to me it's everything, right? So what doesn't make sense to you shouldn't be wrong to me, and what makes me happy shouldn't make sense to you. So I started getting it not to rebel. I started getting it because I wanted, it's my lessons and my blessings. I'm putting them on my body. It's my canvas. And I love it. And I think I am way beyond this body. I'm a soul. So if you look at my soul, you'd realize that I'm way more than this. If you close your eyes and we go out every day blindfolded, you'll have so much fun with me. So don't let the way I look affect that. And that's what the message I was trying to tell people. But the tattoo is not a trauma response. The tattoo is basically because God gave us a gift as humans, and it's forgetting. We forget. We give birth, we forget. We get pregnant again, we forget it was painful. We forget a lot. So what I do is I put my blessing and my lesson. So basically the good things that happen in my life, and then the lessons I learned. Because you forgive, but you never forget. And whoever says we forgive and forget is BS. It doesn't work like that. So it's just to remind me of everything I've been in life and how, whether it's bad or good, it was always a teacher.
So your sleeve, your pieces up your arms, are they reflections then of things that have happened like recently in your life?
Like from the day I was born till now.
So what? Give me an example of one of these tattoos where it's something that represents a lesson to you that you won't repeat in your life.
Like, for example, this one. So this one is an angel, a Cupid holding a bow, spreading love. And then this one is the same Cupid holding an AK-47 with a bandana, which means don't mistake my kindness for weakness. And I'm kind, I'm full of love, but if I have to fight for myself and stand up for myself, I can. So I'm not your spiritual doormat. Don't step all over me just because I'm spiritual, And I love it. I always say this. I say, I am peace, love, and light, but I will peace, love, and light your house on fire if you mess with me. So healing is not just light. It's understanding that I am darkness and light. I have darkness inside of me as well. But I tamed it.
So basically what you're saying is then Arabic women and Latina women are on the same frequency.
How did you end How'd you end up with that? I mean,
because you're talking about lighting people's houses on fire, which is
it's a metaphor. It's metaphoric. But yeah, I get what you're saying. But it's metaphoric. It means that if you mess with me, I will still be full of love and light, but I will deal with it. I will not allow you to step all over me.
But how are you going to deal with it?
In a very loving, respectful manner, I will stand up for myself. Like, for example, I recently had an issue with a friend, and that friend did something very wrong, and immediately I went legal and opened a case, did all of that, because you don't mess with the way I make money. You don't mess with my reputation. You mess with that. So for me, it's like you go low, I go legal, and I'm not going to say, oh, I love her, she needs healing, she needs growth. I'm still a human, and people tend to forget that I'm having a human experience. So I'm allowed to have a dark side, but it's tamed, and I know when to bring it out. I bring it out in the right time, which is I will go legal. I will not take revenge. I will not hate you. I will not talk about you. I will not do anything myself, because I don't want that karma to come back to me. Because karma's tricky. It's an algorithm. I will deal with you legally. That's it.
Quick one for you guys. If you're loving this conversation and you're getting immense value, consider hitting that subscribe button and turn the notification bells on, as it lets us know that we're creating the right content for you at the right time.
But when you know energy the way that you know energy, and the way that I know that you know people from knowing you outside of the podcast and outside of these studios that we record these in, what is it you didn't, when you talk about working with that partner, for argument's sake, and that relationship falling down, what process would you put in place so that doesn't happen again? Like how would you tell people that listen to this conversation to look at their relationships, their partnerships, their business things, so they can avoid this?
Very simple. It's not signs, not red flags, because signs and red flags, they come later. You see them later, maybe a month into it or something. Right. The first impression, your intuition, what do you feel? I did not like that person when I first met them. And this is what people need to know. Your intuition, you are a spirit with a body. It means as a spirit, you're an energy. Energy can never be destroyed. Where is the source of that energy? God. So I'm very powerful. He's a creator, I'm a sub-creator, right? And people tend to forget that. So when I walked in the room, the first time I saw that person, I just did not feel good. And I did not honor my intuition. I did not honor myself. And instead of feeling, I started thinking. And I always say, why think if you can feel? Your feeling is an antenna. It's energy. It doesn't lie. But your mind plays tricks on you. So when I first met that person, I was like, I don't feel good around her. But then after that, my mind was like, well, you're being judgmental. You're not giving her a chance. You're judging. Where's the love? Where's the light? So my mind tricked me. But the truth is, I felt it day one. Then the red flags came and I ignored them because I loved her, blah, 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 whatever. But the point is, if I want to teach you a lesson, and that's my takeaway for 2025, is to respect my intuition. And it's a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets, the clearer it is. The more you don't, the more it dies out.
So what's the fastest way to get towards people's intuition if they're looking to get closer to it today?
You have to heal. You cannot have great intuition and connection with divine and the universe if you have childhood trauma. You cannot, if you remove childhood trauma, you might have trauma when you were a teenager. You remove this, you remove relationship trauma, you remove friend. You have to clean up the whole corridor for you to see the light. Otherwise, it's dark in here. So for you to practice your intuition and your magic and your alchemist as a spirit in a human experience, you need to do the inner work. You need to control your shadows. You need to understand what life is about. You need to have an awakening.
So if me and you were walking down that hallway now of all the traumas that you've had to overcome and the systems and processes you've had to put in place to overcome them, what was the first trauma that allowed you to unlock the door? And then
childhood.
Yeah, but which one specifically? So
the thing is, you go in and the first thing you think of when you're doing hypnotherapy or therapy or spiritual healing, whatever kind of healing you're doing, okay? You go in and you're like, okay, you go to the earliest memory. So your ex, the ex probably before it, my best friend. We never go to childhood because I don't remember my childhood. No one does. So you don't think there's a problem there. And you're like, but I was a kid. I'm sure everything was lighthearted. I didn't take it seriously. But that's when all the damage happens. From the day your mom has you in her stomach until you're 8 years old, that's where your character is being processed. So whatever you go through at that time is what makes you who you are. So yes, there is trauma when you're a child. So I remember when I started, I was like, I want to heal this. And then the person's like, nope. I was like, okay, so how about this? They're like, no. I was like, what about this? They're like, you cannot. For me to understand why I used to attract before healing narcissistic men, it goes back to my childhood. Who was narcissistic around me? Why did I think that narcissists have normal behaviors and that's what love is about? So it always, every decision, every reaction, every bad thing in your life, in business, anything, it all goes back to childhood. Where did it start? So it's such a profound journey because I know you're in a hurry to deal with what's new, but what's new comes from what's old, and what's old comes from what's old. So it's a chain reaction. So if I remove the childhood trauma, I will deassemble everything on top. I'll break the whole castle. But if I start from the top, I take the relationship. You'll not understand why you ended up with him. If I take the friendship, you will not understand why you attract this kind of friendship. But if I take you to the core, your father was abusive. That's why you're with an abusive man. That's why this. Then it makes sense to the person, right? And so everything goes back to the beginning. And only when you deal with that bullshit, only when you face your own shit, is when you wake up and you actually start realizing things. And your own bullshit, I mean, like, you know, there might be a question a lot of people ask me is, okay, if healing's so profound and I can become spiritual and strong and connected to source and all that, why isn't everyone healing? Because healing is not easy. Healing, you cannot go do the work and then come back to the ecosystem that hurt you. You cannot go back to what hurt you. Now, when you heal, you make the unconscious conscious. Every doubt you have, you know your husband's not good for you. You need a divorce, but you're in denial. So when you do the work, God shows you everything. Now, what are you going to do with this knowledge? And this is, I think, a lot of people why they don't heal, they don't go do the work, because when they go back from healing, they got to leave the family, leave the friends, get divorced, leave the job, leave the business. And who is ready to do these things? No one. So everyone's just comfortable being where they are.
The one thing I've noticed from doing the work and healing certain parts of myself from childhood, similar to what you're discussing, is that, you know, certain women that I'd be attracted to previously, like, once you break that stereotype, I'm no longer attracted to them.
Yeah.
So the way I look at women now and the way I look at attraction when it comes to a woman, it isn't just in the physical anymore.
Yeah.
I used to look at women and go, oh, she's beautiful, or she's this, or she's that. Now I look at a woman and go, yeah, she's beautiful, but no, the but is, would she be a good mother to my children?
Yes.
That is the but.
Yeah.
That only hit me at 35 years old. That caveat.
Yeah.
Like 35 years old, I only learned that as a man. Like, so it's like, but it's so powerful when you learn these things, that kind of like these frameworks. But what I'm asking you is, like, when you've understood all these childhood pieces and you say you've overcome them, do you still find the same men that you found toxic attractive?
No. Not at all. At the beginning of the healing journey, I was still attracting narcissists. Like after we did the podcast, I attracted one more narcissist. I was like, oh, damn it. But he was less harmful than these. I was like, okay, progress, right?
Right.
At least he's better than the others. But then as I went deep into the healing, I came back and it's like eureka moment. It's like, yeah, now you know why you act and take all these stupid decisions. And I remember my friend sent me up on a date. And she's like, oh, you have to meet this guy, blah, 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 blah. I swear, you can ask her. I walked in, I sat down. He just looked at me in the eye. And I was like, he's a narcissist. I'm not sitting. She's like, wow, where, why? The thing is...
How would you know that from his eyes?
They have a look in their eyes.
Yeah, but explain this look.
It's called a dead look. It's like when they forget that they're performing and they have a look where it's like full of anger, rage, full of envy. And they just want to destroy you.
But where do you believe a narcissistic man's anger comes from?
It's not anger. Narcissistic people are not even born narcissistic, okay? It's just a childhood trauma. Instead of it's making, like, I'll give you an example. There was a rich guy, very successful, and there is an alcoholic. And they asked them both, they're brothers, what made you the way you are? They said, my dad was an alcoholic. So they both took the negative. One became the negative, one became better. You know what I mean? So usually when a child is suppressed from emotions or giving too much emotions, or there was expectation from the child when he was young, if you don't pass, I don't love you. If you don't do good in golf, I don't love you. Piano, I don't love you. So when a child goes through this, two things happen. It's either the child becomes a narcissist, or the child become an empath and a people pleaser and will do anything, which is what happened to me. I became a people pleaser. Like, I'll do anything for you to love me and accept me. But once you realize these things, you're like, bro, what the hell was I doing with my life? How? And then you realize, oh my God, how much more time are people willing to waste before they wake up and find out that every choice, everything surrounding them is not really who they are or what they want in life. And they could be doing much more, potentially, way bigger potential, but they're not tapping into that because they're scared of healing.
Do you think, though, that you could have gone polar opposite in the way that you're approaching things? Because before you're saying, hey, Frankie, I was a walkover. Whereas now you're like, you don't take no shit and you'll start a legal case if you feel it needs to. Isn't there a case for you bringing it into more of a center role as a female?
No. The thing is, there are scenarios where I meet people in the middle, and it's not like I'm a punishing machine. No, there are people who still hurt me from far away, talk about me. I let it go. Send them love, back to sender. Whatever you send me is back to you. But if somebody comes and I'm a single mom and I feed my kid and they ruin my reputation, that affects my work, the way I make money, the way I feed my child. If you go low, I go legal with you. And the thing is, you need to understand something about karma. Karma is an algorithm, okay, in the world. The way God works, science, physics, he's beautiful the way he put things. Karma is you do wrong, you put whatever you put in the world comes back to you. So you do negative, you get negative. You do positive, you get positive, right? So let's say if my friend hurt me and I took the initiative to hurt her back the same way, spoke about her. She spoke about me, I spoke about her. So what happens now is I took her karma and mine on me. So I am now the victim of karma, not her anymore, because I decided to play God and punish her. So you let go of people, you don't punish. But there is laws. So I went to the law instead of doing it myself. This is legally, take care of it. That's it. And I will, and it's not, and I don't want you to think that I became ruthless, like no empathy, no sympathy. No, I'm full of love and full of empathy. But I learned how to stand up for myself, because in the past, I had business partners who were best friends who stole money from me, and I never did anything. And I've never fought for myself. And I always, if I'm in a business with a partner and I feel like we're not vibing, I'll leave the money, I'll leave the business. I'm like, bro, take it. I just can't do this anymore. But it's easy to walk away, right? From whatever that bothers you. But that's not healing, because that's not you being in a healed place, because you're running away from it.
So this represents you setting a boundary in your
100%.
life that you've never previously set.
100%. Red lines, boundaries. No one is allowed anymore at all. I love myself too much. And like I finished my healing 2 years ago. From that day till now, I'm still falling in love with myself every day, because I'm discovering who I am. Like, if you ask me, what did the old Sara like to eat, do, spend time? I know, but this Sara, I don't know, because I'm getting to know her without the mask of trauma, without all these things. Who am I? I like different things. I like different stuff. I used to think I'm an introvert. It turns out that no, I'm an introvert. I thought I was an extrovert. Now I realize that no, I'm not an extrovert. I used to do this to people please, because FOMO. I don't have FOMO anymore. I have JOMO, joy of missing out.
The extrovert thing is so true, because I used to believe that in myself, when I was around the boxing game and in that environment. It's very extroverted, very loud, very like, everything's a fight, everything's obnoxious in a little way, or a little bit of beef, or someone's got a little bit of ego to it. And then the more I've gone into like learning about self, communicating with high level people, the more I've realized, I just like to go back and sometimes just like to have my own peace and my own thoughts, like journal some stuff out, like sometimes I just want to sit in my own self and just work it out myself, not have to go to the world and try and be something I'm not. Is that kind of what you're saying? Yeah,
totally. Because the thing is, as I said before, I was people pleasing. FOMO. I want to be everywhere with everyone, and I'm full of life. And when somebody tells me they're introverts, I'm like, I don't get it. Now I get it after doing the work, because as a person, as a machine, I need to recharge. I cannot be 24/7 exposed and working. If a laptop needs to reset, imagine what a human needs every now and then, right? Number one is resetting. I need time. Number two, I love being alone. I love it. Not solitude, not loneliness, okay? Because it's the only time I can think, I can take decisions, I can get to know myself, I can get downloads, I can connect with God. When I'm surrounded by people and I'm busy all the time, I cannot. How do I process information? How do I okay, let's say I've healed and I have this much knowledge. How do I integrate it in my life if I'm 24/7 with people? What do I do with this knowledge? I need to apply it in real life now. So it is very crucial to take time for yourself. And I know that a lot of people probably listening to this will not get it now, but one day they will get it when they do the inner work. They realize that the only way to grow is to have time on your own. It's as simple as that.
How are you getting that time on your own though as a mother? There'll be lots of other mothers that listen to this podcast.
Boundaries. I demand it. I used to always put family, kids, life, business, money, everything. My business is before everything. But now, no, I have boundaries. I have days where my son goes to spend time with my mom. I spend time alone. He has time to spend alone as well, because I'm teaching him how to how to be with himself and not feel it's awkward as well, because kids don't know how to deal with that. I have days, I work 3 days a week. I travel. I'm always doing stuff. I work smart, I don't work hard, and I don't allow my business or money or friendship to control my time. Because if I don't have financial freedom, if I don't have my time, if I don't own my time, why am I an entrepreneur? I'll go work at a job. At least I leave the job after 5, no headaches, I don't think of anything, I'm free. So if you're an entrepreneur and you don't own your time, there is something off. There's a problem.
A lot of people are always messaging me about coming to the UAE, whether it's from Australia, UK, America, or wherever. They always want to come to the UAE. They're talking about getting residence here, this, that, and the other. When they say that to me, I try to explain to them in my own words, like, hey guys, when you come here, you got to be able to really control your energy, because this place can take you one way or another. And I'm sure you'd agree with that. How do you manage your energy in Dubai, especially?
You choose what you want to be and say no to everything that's not you. That's as simple as that. It's like, for example, if you call me today and tell me, hey, listen, let's go clubbing. I have these great entrepreneurs I want to introduce you to. They might invest in your business. I don't go clubbing. But you're crazy. The investors there, come. Everyone's there. Don't be closed-minded. I'm not closed-minded. I'm very open-minded to the extent that I am accepting you going, but I don't want to go. So it's just, this is me, and I say no to everything that's not me. And I'm aligned, I'm authentic, I'm real. And this is what people don't understand. They think alignment is just loving God, praying, meditating, eating good. No, alignment is your word, your action has to match your intention. As simple as that. So if I don't club, I don't club, and I will not bend my integrity because an investor is waiting. So like, I am what I am, and everything that's not who I am, I let go of.
If you were to give someone a task to do and to say, look, sit down with yourself right now and figure out how you're not in alignment, what task would you give them to figure that out in the fastest possible way?
Very simple. And this is, if I ask you right now, do you have morals and ethics? What are you going to tell me? Yes. Okay.
You wouldn't be around me if I didn't.
I know. No, but if I give you a paper and pen, and I tell you write down 10 of your morals, 10 of your ethics, you will need 2 hours. You cannot fill it. Why? You're confused because you're like, oh, is that a moral? Is that an ethic? Wait, am I okay? What if they white lie? Am I fine with? It's like, we know, we have an idea, a general idea of morals and ethics, but we don't go deep into who we are.
Do you want me to show you something? And I've not really told people on podcasts before, but I'm so dialed in on like who I want to be. I even
so you wrote it down. I love that.
Like if you you can obviously, like, you know how you've just said there, my ethics. It's not. I've called it my character. Like, so even like the character of the man that I have to be is all written there. I love
that.
So like this is my ideal life. How my life looks on the day to day, everything I own, every asset, how I turn.
Oh my God, this is so healthy.
How I turn up for my woman in my life, everything's written there, right? The character of the man I have to be, the values I have to have, and the goals that have to be attained in order to get there. All written out.
I wish everyone did that.
Now, the reason I have these frameworks is because you can get trapped by beauty in a lot of ways. You can just look at women and think, oh, she's beautiful, this, that, and the other. But it's like, is she going to align with you as a man? Is she going to be able to support you on your mission to do what you've just said there in on that note? Is she going to, like, does she match your character values?
Does she fit in all of this?
Does she fit in all of that?
But also at the same time, what a lot of people do is that because they don't have an idea like you do about who they are, right? And I love this. I do this, and I wish everyone does this, because only then you'd know yourself. If I tell you, a lot of people are like, oh, I want the right girl or the right man. Okay, here's a paper and pen. Describe them. Cannot, because they've never went deep into. They have a general idea.
I want to read you to the level of detail I've got. I've gone in here because I think it will help people. I think it'll help people. Like it's even like in one part of this, I'm talking about the thread counts on my sheets. Like, yeah, I wake up at 6 a.m. in silk 1,000 thread count bed sheets, and I go for a beach walk, and then I meditate, and it goes on, and how much I earn, and what my girlfriend looks like, and you know what I mean?
I love it.
All this stuff. Because it's like, if you don't know, then how can you expect God, universe, to bring in what you know? And how can you, as a man or a woman, discern if something that's being brought to you is the right for you if you don't know? So when you're talking about the values, the character, like, absolutely, that should be an iPhone note. Like, and this thing is the biggest CRM in the world. Like, if you just use your iPhone notes to set yourself out, you're like I've got red flags in women and I've got green flags in women, because it's like, don't all just write down the red flags and all the bad things about the woman that you don't want to attract as a man. It's like, well, what about all the good things you want to attract as well?
Totally.
Like, it's those frameworks I've got.
No, I like that. I also go deep into it, and I advise everyone listening to this to just break yourself down into a business plan. Just a business would not work without a financial forecast, a structure. No investor is going to put money in you. Why would God invest in you if you don't know the universe? Why would it give you anything you want if you don't know what you want? It's as simple as that. But also, what people don't understand about manifestation, it's if I tell God, hey God, I just want someone that makes me happy. I've been alone. I just want a companion. I want him to be there. I want him to take care of me. God will send me a cat. How the hell does God know what you want? You're talking about a man. You got to be specific, because if you, and this is how God teaches you to go deep than just, the surface. What are you looking for? If you're going to marry this girl, is she a good mom for your kids? Can she fit in your schedule? For example, me, if I go on a date and, people are like, you're weird for doing this. I'm not. I don't waste time. I sit down. I'm like, how are you financially? Because I'm successful financially. I've struggled financially with men. I took care of them before. Are you struggling? Are you ambitious? Do you want kids? What is your expectation? What is your life? How much do you spend? And the guy's like, I just met you. Why are we having this conversation? And I swear, and I told the guy, I said, I'm saving your time and my time by having this conversation. And instead of us falling in love and then the conversations arise and then we have conflicts and issues, but we're so in love and we tend to trauma bond and all that. Why not have the conversation from the get-go and just lay it down there before you fall in love, before feelings get involved? Let's see whether we fit each other or not. And what a game changer it is, Frankie. What a time saver. You know how girls go on dates and guys like, oh, I've been on 3 dates. She's horrible. She wasted my time. I don't waste my time. My time is the only thing I can't take back. It's my only thing. Money I can make. Health I can repair. Time, I cannot take it back. So every moment is valuable. I don't want to waste, even from compassion to the person in front of me, I don't want to waste your time. Yeah.
Do you find it hard to like meet the type of character man that you want to?
Not anymore. No. Not anymore. After doing the work, I am aligned with exactly men who are like me on the same level. It's very easy. But I'm not looking as well. See, the thing is, people who look for a job need money, right? People who want to have kids, they feel like there's an obligation to fulfill. They want to have children. Something is missing in their life. People who feel like I need a relationship to complete me will always fall in the wrong relationship, because
100%.
He's not supposed to fulfill anything. You have to come abundant and whole. You are your lover. You are who fulfills everything you need. Otherwise, it's a transaction. If I'm in love with you because you make me feel certain ways, I need you for something. That means that it's a business transaction here. It's not genuine, and it's definitely not unconditional. It's conditional. But if I come to you whole, full, I love myself, I'm happy, everything is ready, and you add to this, then that's a successful relationship.
Having known you the few years I have, probably about 3 years, I've seen layers fall off you in terms of like, you become a lot softer in terms of like, a lot less like, not driven's the wrong word. You're very driven, but you're not got as many layers to you to break down as many walls as a man. Like when I first met you, I thought, the man who comes in here and to deal with is going to have to be a strong man, because like you're going to just try and fight him. But as you've gone through the years, I've seen you pull off another layer and another layer and another layer. Yeah. But it's like, are you willing to drop fully into your feminine and create the space to allow that man to now come in?
I wish. Men, a lot of men don't understand that, and a lot of women don't understand that. Women were made to be submissive. And I'm not saying this in a disrespectful way. Submissive as in like, I don't need to think of how to plan. There's a man protecting, fighting, providing. I am here to provide different things, and I know my role. I'm here to maintain his spirituality, his mental health, to make his life easy. I'm here to love, to be friends, to inspire. I am the power of creation as a feminine. I create life.
You are the portal.
Yes.
To like that. You're the portal that the man goes through. You know what I'm saying?
100%. And his job is to protect me in 3D. My job is protect him up there, astral, 5D. Women are very spiritual. So I want a man that I can just be the woman I want to be and practice my magic and love and all that. And I want a man to lead me. Every woman loves that. And it's not disrespecting women. I can be a boss bitch outside. I can go outside. I can crush it in meetings. I can bring you money. I can do whatever you need. But when I go home, I don't want to be that. I want to be spoiled. I want to be with a man that I can open up to and he can guide me and inspire me back. And I want to be submissive. But a woman cannot be submissive in the presence of a man that's broken or a not divine man. Cannot. Not a masculine man. Cannot. And a woman becomes your mirror. So if she's hard and she's not giving you what you need, let's look at what you're giving her, because she will, they say at the beginning, a woman treats you the way she wants you to treat her. But after that, she will treat you the way you treat her. You get it? At the beginning, she'll treat you nice because she wants you to treat her nice. But then she will become your mirror. She'll treat you the way you treat her. So if something is wrong with her, a man should always reflect on how he's making her feel. Like, you cannot, a lot of men, like, they're out partying all the time with their friends and all that, and he comes home and he fights with his woman because she's upset that he's out late, and he says, you take away my peace. You're taking away the peace. You're the one going out clubbing. You're the one leaving her at home. So peace is created. It's not given. It's not something a woman should provide. So you are taking away the peace and you're blaming it on her. So a real masculine gives women the safety to drop, and I'm dying to drop my feminine. But it needs the right man to do that. Other than that, in my whole life, every day, I'm very feminine. After the healing, I became even more feminine, and I love it. But I know as a woman when to tap into my masculine energy. Now, before I was autopilot and masculine because of the men I was with. Now I can choose, because some situations I need to be masculine. With my kid, if anyone tries to hurt my kid, and I'm a single mom. I have to tap into my masculine. At work, sometimes I have to tap into my masculine. When I'm doing my finances, I have to tap into my masculine. But I can drop back into my feminine because I've done the work. But what I don't understand, and I want to ask you, is why do men get offended when you ask them to get in touch with their feminine? Because it completes a man. You have to have that balance of like masculinity, and then the creation energy, the intuition, the spiritual part is the feminine energy.
Well, it's knowing to listen and for her to feel heard.
Yeah.
But not trying to fix. Because a woman's never looking for you to fix anything. She's just looking to be heard a lot of the time.
No, but women expect men to fix. They're fixers. Men are known to be fixers.
No, what I'm saying is, before you start going out there trying to fix random stuff.
Yeah.
Because a lot of men go out there. You bring me the problem.
He has to hear her first.
You bring me start telling me a problem. Yeah. He runs out there trying to fix it.
Yeah.
No. At least allow her to be heard. She wants to be heard in that moment, not just for you to go out random fixing. I understand the fixing psychology, but you don't start going to fix before you've heard.
No, and men don't hear women. And sometimes they just hear them to hear them, or hear them to reply to them, but it's never hear them to understand them. And men are logical, and I get it. That's why when I speak to a man, I understand his capacity, and I understand that I'm different than him. But men have to understand that as well, because when women discuss things with men, we speak with emotions, but logic as well, because I'm accommodating you. But men speak with logic with no emotions, and they're not accommodating women.
Would you say it's possible to be both emotional and logic in the same token?
Yes, of course, 100%. 100%.
Give me an example.
Okay, for example is, let's say you've done something wrong, okay? And the action is wrong, and we're in a relationship, and I've told you about this action, we discussed it, but you've done it. So the logic is that the action is wrong, okay? Now, the other part of it where you mix logics with emotion is I ask you, forget the action. What was your intuition? What was your intuition going into this? What was your, what do you call it in English? Oh my God, I forgot the word.
What do you call it in English?
It's Nia. Oh my God, what do you call it in English? It's like what you feel inside. My God, my English is gone. Well, you know what you feel inside? If there's an action, what was the emotion inside? Intention. There you go.
What was the intention behind the action?
Got it.
Okay.
So the point is, when you do something wrong, the logic is you've done something wrong, right? For me to add emotions as a woman to it, I'll ask you about your intention, because your intention can debunk your action. And then I'm mixing logic with emotions now. I'm being reasonable with you. But if I was to be logical, I'll tell you, you messed up. It's over. Go. We're done.
Guys, before we go into this podcast is sponsored by contentremoval.com. If you're looking to remove any images, videos, search results, fake accounts, or anything else online, go to contentremoval.com. We've looked after everybody from the likes of Alex Hormozy, Kayla Racines, Tammy Hembrow, to a whole host of other brands and celebrities that you know and love. And we'd love to help you with your issues online. So if you have any issues online and you want to get in touch with us, click the link below this video and go to contentremoval.com.
It's the psychology set up by a woman. She's
Yeah.
a woman will always try and walk you down the path and allow you to self-incriminate yourself.
And what
Sometimes a man's best trait is to sit and listen
yes.
and to say nothing.
Yeah.
Not because you can if you tried to walk me down that path, I'd sit and just listen.
Yeah.
Because anything I say from that point on, I already know you're building a case to incriminate and hit me with another case down the track. So you're already setting me up as a byproduct of your logic and emotional statement there. You're already setting me up to fall into a trap anyway.
But that is when if I take anything you do as a man with logic and compassion, like with the feminine energy and the masculine energy, you have a better settlement. For example, let's say if I messed up, okay, and you come and talk to me as a man and tell me, listen, what you did is wrong. And then a woman, what she does is, but you know what? What I was thinking when I did this, I was thinking of that, and then I called this, and the guy's like, I don't care. You fucked up. You messed up. It's over. I don't need to hear the reasons and all that. What a man is not understanding is a woman is trying to show you that maybe my action was wrong, but please hear my intention behind it, because my intention was good, but the action turned out wrong. And only then you'd have compassion for somebody. And mixing both feminine and masculine energy. And men don't get it. When a woman argues and argues and argues, she's trying to get to the intention so she doesn't judge you and doesn't leave you. Because a lot of women, what they do is that when a situation is toxic, their mind has checked out. Their body takes time. It checks out later. But if the mind checks out, the body will follow one day. So when a woman is communicating and telling you, but what did you feel? But why did you say that to her? But what did you think when you were saying that? Where were you? How was your emotions? The guy's like, why the hell are you even asking these questions? The truth is she's trying to get to your intention so she doesn't judge you.
But a woman has to buy into loving a man every day that she's with him. Like she has to
both.
Like me, if me and you are dating, I have to sell you as to why you should be in love with me every single day of the relationship.
Every day for the rest of our life.
It's conditional.
Yeah.
It's conditional until the end of time.
No, it's not conditional. It's requirements. It's different than condition.
That's condition.
No, it's
a requirement is a condition.
A requirement a condition is I will not love you if you don't do that. Do you get it? But a requirement's different. For example, I've seen kids who failed school but still end up in university. It wasn't the requirement, but they had what it takes. So the point is, you might not fit in certain scenarios, but you can at the same time. Does that make sense?
No, explain that.
Okay.
That does not make sense at all. I don't know what planet you've just pulled that one on, but that does not make any sense. Carry on.
Oh my God.
Let's go deeper into that. I want to understand it.
So the difference between conditional, unconditional, or requirement, right? For example, I would tell you my requirement to be with me. If you club, I don't club, so it's not going to work, okay?
Okay, that's a requirement.
If you drink, I don't drink. I accept you. We can chill as friends, but my requirement for us to have a relationship is this. Similar to any business. My requirement is if you put funds, I will put funds. And my requirement is you have a background in this business, so I can start it with you. Yeah. Requirements, right? But at the same time, you might meet a person that is not fitting in that requirement, but they are open to learning. You might meet an employee in your company.
So you're talking about teachable.
Teachable, okay. Yes.
Okay.
So requirement and conditional is completely different, you know? You might not fit my requirement, but can you stop drinking? Yeah. You know, can you stop clubbing? Yeah. Will one day you get bored and change things? Yeah. Are you teachable? Yeah. So only if you're teachable, yes. So that's the difference between condition and requirements. But condition, I'll give you an example. Like, if you drink and you club, we can talk about it. We can talk about it. Why do you do it? it's a requirement, but you can break the rules with it, with me. But my non-negotiable is, if you're not spiritual, we can't have a relationship. It's a non-negotiable. It means I cannot wait for you to go be teachable. I cannot wait for you to do it if you're not willing to.
But what man do you know that in his full masculine is open to being fully teachable from day one? Because
divine masculine.
Yeah, but you're gonna have you can word it as divine masculine, but let's just call it masculine but
there's a difference.
Explain the difference.
A masculine man thinks that. How many times have you seen men and you're like, oh my God, he's very masculine. I like it. He's in charge of his life. He provides for his family. He does this. But when his wife wants something, if she speaks, he's like, I'm speaking. Wait. So for him, he's being respectful to her, but he shuts her up when she interrupts him. But to him, I'm a masculine. You don't interrupt a masculine when he speaks. So in his head, he's full on masculine. It's not. This is toxic masculinity. A divine masculine will handle things differently. A divine masculine who has done the work, when he meets a woman, she doesn't need to be special for him to give her a special treatment. He'll treat her special because he respects women, feminine energy in general. So it's a completely different ballgame. Yes, he's teachable from the beginning, a spiritual man, a divine masculine man. A masculine man is not teachable because he has ego. Oh, why am I learning from you? I'm the man. I should be teaching you. So it's debatable.
So you're saying be open but in your power.
100%. And if you're not willing to learn, then you've lost life completely. Because I'm a student for life, always learning.
I've seen you do a few podcasts over the time, and on one podcast I watched, I saw the host mirror you in a way by wearing a certain item of clothing that you'd wear, right? And I when I consumed that podcast, I thought to myself, that's not really like that. That's too far. Like that's too far. Like you should be in your own, you stand in your own power. You shouldn't match a woman's essence in that way. Yeah. Would you agree?
No, I feel like I get your point and I respect your point. But from me, I felt like it was funny because the story was that I started this trend in podcasts that people are wearing hats in podcasts now. So he's like, you started the trend, and it's funny because every time he interviews people, they tell him Sara wears hats, so we all wear hats because it's protecting our crown chakra. So he's like, I want to feel what you feel by wearing it. So it's the way you take things. I can sit and insult you in a different language and you'd be laughing, but if I translate it for you, you'd get offended. So
how many times have you assaulted me in other languages?
In Arabic, you'd know because the face says it all. You know? So it's just like you're the one who gives power to everything I say and do to people, right? So yeah, it's like if I give you the power to irritate me in this moment by dressing like me, I've given you the power. But for me, I thought it was cute. I thought it was like funny.
Yeah, but that's exactly what I'm talking about.
What?
Those words. I thought it was cute.
Yeah.
That is the whole essence of what I'm talking about.
So you perceive life as far as you've learned how life is. You get it? Like we look at life differently because we have different experiences, different healing, different journeys. And it's okay if we have different point of views. But the main point is not to let anything bother you. You can dislike it.
No. I'm looking at it from a psychological point of view. Okay. Not a bothered point of view. Looking at it from a psychological.
You're going deeper than.
I'm going deeper. I'm going deeper. Okay. I'm like, what's the psychology of it? What does it psychologically say when you do this? You know what I mean? And the essence in what I'm saying is, you said it in your words. Because you told me the story of what you thought it meant, which is fine, and I accept that story. That's your story. But the words, when a woman says, "I thought it was cute," that summarizes everything I thought it was. Do you understand?
So he wanted it to be cute.
No. What I'm saying is, when you call a man cute, you disqualify his masculine essence.
No, Frankie. So this is what I said at the beginning. I said, I asked you a question. You still didn't answer it. I said, why women can tap into their masculine and back into their feminine, but men think it's a weakness to tap into their feminine. Why would you get offended if somebody said what you did was cute? If you're a man, if you're a real man, you know you're a man. Whether I say you're cute or not,
no. I'm not offended either way. I'm just saying, if you look at the psychology piece, you know.
So he was trying to grab my attention. You mean?
No, what I'm saying is, if you look at the psychology piece, if a woman calls a man cute in a psychological piece, it's not the best result for a man.
Cute. I think it's so cute. If I can, I'll tell you why. If I see a man that can be himself, whether it looks ridiculously dumb or stupid or cute or not cute, and he doesn't give a shit and he's himself, I like it. I think he doesn't give two shits. He's in his power. Similar to my tweet.
But that's different. That's different to the word cute.
What do you mean?
Cute carries an essence of you're putting the man in the friend zone.
Not really.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, 100%.
No, if I want to put a man in my friend zone, I would call him brother immediately. There's no cute.
Brother is also, but I think brother and cute are the two same essence.
Cute means I'm not really impressed, but I think it's a cute move. It's nice. But I'm not really impressed. Like, it's not that you've broken my heart in two and now I'm dying for this. But it's cute. And I love that you don't give a fuck and you did it regardless of what people would think. So I think it's just cute. And there's nothing wrong with men doing thing and a woman calling them cute. Babe, it's cute.
I think we're going to have to disagree on this cute thing.
So if you dress up for Halloween as something nice and your girlfriend says, babe, you look so cute.
No. You just framed it. You just framed it. If my girlfriend said,
yeah,
well, she's my girlfriend. That's different.
If your friend said it.
No. So when you're sat there with if I'm sat across and you call me cute, right? You say, Frankie, you know.
Okay, now I get where you're going. I get where you're dragging. I get it.
Like it's the wrong. It's all framed wrong. It doesn't work.
I don't know you enough to call you cute.
No,
we don't have that kind of relationship.
No.
With a guy,
you catch my drift on where this on how that's not really framed right.
I get it. I get what you're coming from.
Yeah, it's a.
It shouldn't have been part of the conversation.
Why?
As like for me to call someone cute suddenly in the middle of a podcast.
I just think it's one of them. It's just one of them words that I just think as a man, as soon as you hear it, you've just like, oh wow, like you've put yourself in that zone. Like
I think you're being so harsh. You're judging yourself a lot.
Judging myself?
Yeah.
In what sense?
Because the thing is, if I say I cannot wear this, people are gonna think I'm like gothic, or I can't do this. People are gonna think I'm too short to dress. No one said anything. It's me judging myself before going to the world to get perceived by the world. You get it?
Yeah, I understand.
And these words that we say, what if they think, what if they think, what if they think? This is what makes us not fall in love with ourselves, because we're doubting ourselves. You know what I mean? So for me, I don't care. I go PJs, no PJs in front of people. I think cute. You're not cute. I don't care. I'm me. 24/7. I'm me. So
you don't think there's some words that women? So I believe there are words that women say to men. And we won't go through all the different words in the English language about the women say to men, but there's some words that women will say to men
to belittle them.
No, not to belittle them. There's no belittling in this. There's nothing to do with belittling within this topic that we're talking about. What I'm saying is there's words that women will say to men, and without the woman even thinking from a deep psychological point of view, by her saying it disqualifies that man from attaining, like that man can never attain a relationship because he steps into a cute frame with that woman.
Women don't think like that. Maybe for men it looks like that, but women don't think like that. If I say a guy is cute, it's cute. But I'll give you an example. How I say it is important as well.
This is where you got to break it down as well, right?
So for example, just if any man listening out there, if a girl says you're cute, it's okay. Us girls, we think it's fine to call men cute. Men might not like it. I get what you're saying, right? But if I tell you, oh, that's cute, you gotta be.
You catch my drift now.
You gotta be worried. But if I say, oh my god, that's actually cute.
Yeah.
We're okay.
Okay, cool. So now we're getting into the and you can see the difference in the language,
100%. Right? Delivery mechanism. I'm literally telling you something, but you're not getting it.
Yeah. The subconscious things. No, I wanted to break that down because I thought it was important to have that essence of the framework of because you started off that piece by saying it didn't mean something, but when we go down the track, you actually find out when you break it down piece by piece by piece, everything a woman says means something. As a man, you just have to be able to pick it up and differentiate what it actually means.
Not necessarily. Don't look so deep into it, though. I'll tell you something.
Yeah, go on.
I cannot control anyone but me. You cannot control anyone but me. And if I'm gonna sit and analyze, okay, how does my word feel? How does he feel about my word? How does the delivery mechanism? If I sit like that, I'll go crazy. What I do is I flow. I'm me. So whether I say cute or I say it's hot or I say nice or I say anything like that, I am just being me. I'm not trying to cast any emotions or any definition or anything. But if you see my face and my face tells you something else, but I'm delivering different words, then you'll get it. Like if I say, yeah, it's cute, very cute. You see my face?
It's very dismissive,
it's
right?
dismissive. I'm literally telling you to fuck off, basically.
Yeah.
Like cute. Try it at home with your mom.
This was the whole essence of what I was trying to say.
But women are aware, and we know exactly what we say and how we say it. It's on autopilot because we're emotional creatures. So our emotions are always attached with everything we do.
And this is what I wanted every man that listens to this conversation to understand, that you know, the way and the essence the word is said, and the way it's portrayed.
Energy, body language is everything.
It tells you a different story. Like a woman can say one thing on the front end, but it means something totally different on the back.
Totally. You have to pay attention to everything. Your energy, your feeling, what you know. Sometimes men have a conversation with women and then they finish. Like I have a couple of guy friends, close friends. He'd call me. He'd say, "Yeah, we spoke about it, but I feel something is off. Something is not right. She didn't really mean to." Whatever you're feeling is true. You know, if trust your intuition, trust your feelings with a man, with a woman, whatever it is, right? But women, even with men, body language and energy is everything. So I can sit with you and I can pick up you being sarcastic, you're being defensive, you're being offensive, you're projecting. I can pick all of that. After healing, you're very energetically open. You can see it. Even if you're insecure, I can smell it on you. So it's very easy to pick these things. But women's delivery mechanism is everything. She doesn't put a lot of thought in it, but to watch her body language, watch her hands, watch her eyes, watch the way she speaks, you'd know whether she means it or not.
But the psychology of a female means that even if she hasn't put a lot of effort into it, the intention behind it is still there regardless, because a woman always knows.
Always knows. Intention is everything. And like intuition, intention in women is everything. We are completely different than men. As in, like, you men you base your intuition on a lot on logic, your action, your decisions, your life is logical. We are not. We are very emotional. So we carry life emotionally. And that's why women are a little bit more emotional intelligent than men. Not that men can't be. Don't get me wrong. Men can. Only if they tap into their feminine energy. But a lot of men feel like if I tap into my feminine energy, I'm weak. If I cry in front of women, I'm weak. If I tell a woman I'm broken, I'm weak. I cannot do that. I have to be the one in power. I have to have this facade so she feels safe. No. If you're pretending, a woman feels it. And this is why the relationship starts falling apart. And you don't understand her. She doesn't understand you because you're putting on a show. If you're broken, it's okay for a man to be broken. If you're feeling down, it's okay for a man to be down. But for how long? That's what makes a man a man.
So you're saying that a man should show weakness?
100%. Not to everybody. To his woman. Yes.
To his woman in his own home, maybe.
Yes.
I'd agree with you.
Yes. Privately.
Privately.
Yes.
Yeah. You agree?
100%.
Because I think anything less than private or anything more than private is you're stepping over a boundary that you can't.
But also a man should practice dropping in his feminine in situations, even in public, where empathy needs to be inserted or discernment should be inserted instead of judgment. So if something happens and let's say my man is like, this is wrong, this is right, I don't need to think about it, let's leave, let's do this. For me, he lacks leadership. Zero leadership. How can I be submissive to a man that is out of control, rage everywhere, cannot control himself, cannot think, cannot have discernment? How can I trust him? So I tap into my masculine. But a man who says, hold on, let me see what happened. Okay, you were wrong, you were right. Okay, this was wrong. I don't care if you're my friend, you did it wrong. You're my woman. When a man has discernment and you feel safe that he's always going to take the right decision, you drop into your feminine. And a lot of men don't do that. They just react. And you shouldn't react. A man should be very stern, and women look at all these things. You think women just stay in the background and they're acting cute with their hair?
Absolutely not.
No, we pay attention to all these details. And I go home and I say, we were in a situation where he should have been wiser. He should have been a leader. He fucked it up even more. He accused people of wrong things. He just screamed and left.
Who are you saying this to?
And it's just hypothetically speaking, but I've been with men like that.
No, but say that happened in your reality.
It did happen.
Yeah. Okay, it did happen. Who would you say that to?
What do you mean? Who do I say that to?
Well,
the man.
Yeah.
I don't want to say the name.
No, not the man. Not the man.
Yeah.
No. You're missing my point.
What?
What I'm saying is, if the man fucked up in that situation,
Yeah.
and he's not carried himself in that environment the way that you thought he should carry himself.
The way that the way a man should.
The way the man should,
Yeah.
in your opinion.
Yeah.
Because obviously we're talking about opinions here. Who are you reporting that back to? Who are you?
No one. Am I reporting this?
No. You said, and I went back and I told. Who are you telling? Are you telling the man himself, or are you telling your girlfriend?
No, I'm telling myself.
Are you telling your own self?
Yeah, women. We talk to ourselves. Like what women do is like if we're in a situation, she'll look normal. She'll hold your hands when she goes home. She's replaying the whole tape in her head, and she's like, the way he treated people was not okay. The way he screamed at people was not okay. He knows this person was not wrong, yet he said this person's wrong. He has zero leadership. How can I trust him? What happens is safety is gone. What happens? Drop into your masculine. What happens is you cannot feel safe with a man. You don't trust him. So a lot of women pay attention to men don't. Women pay attention to everything. Even when you're eating in a restaurant. When we're on a date and I'm eating with you, where your eyes are, what you're looking at, what grabs your attention. When people pass, when women pass, we pay attention to everything.
Yeah.
Not that we're paranoid. It's just that I am mama bear. I'm going to nest soon. I'm going to have babies. I need to protect my children. Are you the father figure for me, for my child, it's called nesting. Women do something called nesting because we all give birth. We all create life. So whether we like it or not, autopilot, we're thinking future always. Nesting. So when I sit with you, I watch everything you do. But sadly, a lot of women see the red flags and they stay. Because you fulfill something in them, whether it's emotional safety, whether it's financial safety, whether you're good looking, whether you compliment her, whether she's missing something. And if you feed it to her, whether you have red flags or not, she will stay. But me, I see when I'm sitting with a man on a date and when I'm talking, even if it's a business thing, if a woman passes, I look where he looks. I look at his eyes. I look what he's checking. I can characterize you by your behavior in 1 hour. I know who you are. So these things are very important. Women pay attention.
What other tests are you throwing at the man?
So many.
I'll
scenarios. I'll put him in situations.
Okay, go on. Walk me through the situations that you'll put a man in to test him to see if he's a partner. For
example, like one thing I've done before is that I would tell the guy would plan something beautiful for me and him, getting to know each other, blah, blah, whatever. And then I'd say, well, I have no one to watch my kid. And I can't go with you anymore. And I have to spend time with my kid. And my kid's my number one. And I listen to everything he says. If he says, oh, but I booked everything. Your kid, you're with him for 9 years. He can wait for a day. You are out of my life, because if that was your child, if biologically his child, he would not agree for us to leave the child and go have fun and leave him unsupervised. So out of my life. If he finds a solution for the kid and keeps him safe, amazing man. He's a problem solver. He found a solution, got a nanny, got him a place to stay, got him friends over, so we can end up doing what we want to do. Problem solver, leadership, amazing. But if he cancels and stays at home with me and the kid, even better. So we pay attention to everything. And it's not like, I will never test a man's morals as in like send a girl to test him or text him. Never. I don't enter that department ever. It's either I trust you or I don't. There's no but. I trust you, but. So for me, with trust, I don't mess around with it.
What do toxic women do to test men that you've seen that are just above that level that you're talking about?
I don't know. I've seen, but I don't know because I don't operate, so I don't know how they think mentally. But I've seen women where like they would, like for example, I've seen a girl once, she met a guy and she's like, oh, we're going to Dubai Mall. Do you want to come see my guy? You have good discernment with people. Come check his energy out and all that. So we walked into the store and they just met first day on Bumble, first date ever. Okay. And number one red flag, she has a friend with her, which is weird. She's the red flag to him, not he's the red flag. Then she enters a very expensive store and she was expecting him to buy her something. And and she's like, and she comes out and she's like, yeah, I just told him what I like and let's see if he's going to get it or not. And my question, I took my friend aside. I'm like, babe, you are a freaking red flag. Why does he have to buy you anything? He doesn't know you. What if you're not good for him? Why does he invest in you if you haven't showed him your portfolio, whether you're worth the investment or not, whether you're his type or not, whether he's your type? What are you expecting from him? And she got upset. because I was supposed to say he's the red flag, but she turned out to be the red flag. So I cannot name a list of things because I don't know how they think, women like that. But I've seen some toxic moves, and I've seen also women who do things that are dumb. To be honest, I don't respect women who do this, and whoever's listening, if you're doing this, you really need to seek help, because this is not normal behavior. Women who go out with their men and then do things to get the man jealous, on purpose. It's like disrespectful to the man, to his lineage, to his masculinity. You're literally demasculating the man, and you're cheap. That's all I can say for the woman. You're cheap. You can test him in so many ways. That's not a way to test a man, you know? And I hope every man fails that test, because he's not meant to be with that woman. Who would do something like that? It's crazy. I've seen women do that. Test you. Go stick to guys, go dress up in a provocative way, talk to guys, flirt with guys, touch their hair. A mere man can see all of that. Why are you doing this? And then when you ask her, I was testing him. Well, of course he's not going to last. Of course the test is going to fail. You're not going to end up with him because you just showed him how much of not a woman material you are for him. So, and then women blame it on men. Oh, he failed it. He failed the test. Doesn't work like that. So there are toxic things that men and women do, but I feel like, do not test a character. Do not test their trust, because that's, God will show you. You will figure it out. Test their quality as a person before starting anything. Quality of a human being. That's it.
When a woman gaslights you in that environment, the way that you're saying in regards to that test, what part of them would you say that's unhealed?
Daddy issues.
Right.
Any woman that does things is daddy issues. It's the dad didn't give attention. The dad didn't give her mom attention. The mom had to cheat on the dad. The dad had to cheat on the mom. It all comes from childhood trauma. It can be a couple of things, but it's mostly, like, I'd say 85% daddy issues. Known. And she has issues. She hates the masculine energy because she has issues with her dad, but she wants to be in love. She wants to have a family. She wants to be stable, but she hates the energy of the man. And that's why she takes him out and she belittles him in every situation possible. And then she wraps it up by saying, I was testing him. I didn't mean it. I didn't know this will hurt you. I didn't know this will do that to you. You knew everything.
And the worst thing you can do as a man is forgive that woman.
Big time. You are disrespecting yourself by staying in something like that. You
disrespect yourself, and also you continue her trauma.
Yeah, you're enabling her.
Because you're just gonna she's gonna keep going through, and at some point some man has to put a stop to that.
Yeah,
you know,
and
say,
she'll only learn when the men stop giving her what she wants when she does that. But if she gets what she wants,
what's the best way for a woman to overcome daddy issues though?
You have to go heal. You have to go heal your daddy trauma. You have to forgive. You have to move on. You have to. It's shadow work. Nobody wants to do it. It's shadow work. And a lot of women might, this is what I see. A lot of people doing wrong things are wrapping them up with, I'm testing, I'm checking, I'm worth a lot, I'm worth more than anything, I'm a princess, no, you're broken. Go fix yourself and stop bleeding on the people who didn't cut you. Because that man did nothing to you. For you to take him to a club, humiliate him like that in front of you, himself, and the people around there. And even the man that you're flirting with in front of him knows he's your man. How demasculating it is for a man for you to test him like that. It's very cheap. And I've always told women not to do these things, but women don't. And it's an insecurity from their side because they don't trust the masculine energy. So they punish it every single day.
Can you date in Dubai?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but no. Yeah, but no, because Dubai has this energy where everything can come true in Dubai. So people come here, they're hungry for fame, for money, for success and all that. And usually people like that are always in transition. They come, they try, they leave. So it's not stable to try dating in Dubai. But are there good men in Dubai? There's a lot of good men in Dubai. I have a lot of my friends who are married to beautiful, very wholeheartedly men based in Dubai. But another thing is, you will not find, okay, what are you looking for? I'm looking for a spiritual man, has discernment, leader, strong, powerful in his masculine, but also in his feminine, beautiful man, wants a family and all that. I'm not going to find him in Dubai Mall. I'm not going to find him in a club. I'm not going to find him. I need to go to places in Dubai that has this kind of men, that quality of men, that caliber of men. Where you go is also important. You can't sit at home and say, the universe is going to bring him to me. That doesn't work. And you can't go outside doing the normal things everyone does and expect to find a gem. It doesn't work like that.
I think from my point of view and what I've seen in the world is you go and create the best character and then you attract in.
Totally.
You know what I mean? You don't go out looking for a woman. Like you don't go find her at the gym. You know what I'm saying?
Everyone is looking for the right one. The real question is, are you the right one? Have you done the work? Have you done everything?
But also there's a power in introduction. Like, for argument's sake, I work on my character, I become a better man. Yeah. All of a sudden, you might see the growth in me as a man. You go, oh, my friend, you should meet Frankie. Do you know what I mean? That's kind of how you meet the best quality candidates to date in your life. Yeah. Is the introduction. Not going out and searching for them or being on a dating app and all that.
No, I do not like searching. I feel like it's when you're thirsty, you tend to drink from any cup. So no matter what's in the cup, you'll end up drinking because you're thirsty, right? Not saying that people are thirsty in that way, but what I mean is like when you're looking for something, you will settle for anything because there's a lack, there's no abundance. So I don't look, I just go and I'm myself unapologetically. People choke on me if they want. I'm never watering myself down. And then a lot of men are approaching and they're very wholesome, divine men because guess what? If I want the best, I have to be the best, and I had to work on myself. The 2 years ago, I would never attract these men ever. I would only attract narcissists. Now, completely different ball game. I don't even attract narcissists to the extent if they bring an arc next to me and they're like, "Oh, we want you to get to know her." He cannot stand me because my energy frequency is repelling. I'm not attracting anymore. I'm repelling you. So he feels it. Energy is everything.
What are your daily practices though? Is it breath work? Is it meditation? Is it journaling?
So number one, I wake up. The first 20 minutes when I wake up, I'm in theta state of the brain. So I practice affirmation. What I like things I want that I want to bring forward, that I want to change, habits, everything. So I keep repeating them all the time because the theta state is where the brain is like, "Hey, I'm open to receiving." But then it goes to delta state, it goes to alpha state where it's not going to receive anything you give it. It already has neuropaths. It's not willing to change anything. I'm used to this, mom, we're not changing anything. That's your brain. But the theta state is the minute you wake up and when people are on their phone or are they doing stuff or they're like, drop everything. The first 20 minutes, just focus on you, focus on yourself, go deep into that time and just talk to yourself about what you want to change. Then I meditate. Then I prepare my son for school. My son goes to school. I sit for like 4 hours with no work. I don't want to work. I don't want to talk to anyone in the company. I don't want to do anything on social media. I don't even touch Instagram, nothing. And then in these 4 hours, I just have a conversation with myself. Like, what do I need to improve? What did I do yesterday? What's missing in my life? Anything I need to heal? And you know, it's crazy because once you start the healing process and you become spiritual, you're open for life. Like your energy is open, so you're always receiving information, always from like divine source, always. So I sit there for a few hours and then I start working for another 3-4 hours max. I drop, then I go enjoy my life. Sometimes I would start my day by going to the beach or going to the pool or swimming or tanning. I'm always in the sun because the sun is a portal, so I'm always exposed to the sun, always. So yeah, it's not a routine. I don't believe in routine, but I believe in essentials in my day. Like if I don't drink water, I die. But I can't call water routine. It's an essential. I need it. You know, it's not that my routine is drinking water, you know? So there are essential things in my life that they're not routine. They're flexible to change in time and all that, but I have to do them, which is meditation, sitting with myself, sitting with my brain, before sleeping, sitting with myself again. And I've like right now, after becoming very spiritual, I don't listen to music like I used to. So I don't listen to R&B and all that and everything because everything that enters my body affects my frequency, especially with music. So music brainwashes you and music moves your DNA in your body. And they just recently discovered that the only way to move DNA in the body is through frequency. That's why some music makes you feel good, some music makes you feel down. Then I realized, I'm like, bro, what am I putting in my body? You know, no. So I eat clean, I listen clean, I talk clean, I surround myself with clean people. So yeah, and I'm every day with my friends, every single day, at least, even if it's an hour, 15, 20 minutes, I'm with my soul family. And on the weekends, I spend it with my real family. So you have your logical family and your biological family. Your biological family, I cannot choose them. I mean, I did choose them somehow, but in life, they are who they are. But my logical family are my friends. Like, do they logically make fun Do they are they logic to my life? Do they add value to my life logically? Are they good people? Are they not? And all that. So I see them every single day, every day. Even if it's for 10 minutes, just to check on the family, check on the tribe. Do they need anything? Do they want anything? They uplift you. And when you surround yourself with people who are uplifting, their energy is good, you cannot not be inspired. You cannot not be motivated. I cannot have a day where I'm like, I'm feeling down. Nothing makes me feel down because I'm surrounded by great people. Every corner of my life I turn, things are great. So, yeah, it's just a different way of looking at life. So instead of, and it's not magic. Instead of looking at the cup half empty, I look at it half full.
There we are. She's hinting. She needs a water.
Need my water.
No, but in essence, I want you to take me back to this music thing because
Yeah.
that really interests me. Because
Yeah.
obviously, we're all putting music in our mind, and we all think, you know, we all love a little bit of Biggie Smalls, and you know, we're getting up.
I
in
love
the gym.
Tupac. I love Biggie.
Yeah, all that stuff. But when you actually look at it from a beats level and what they're talking about, you find that they were potentially created characters to spin a narrative. Is that what you're saying?
No, not really. So in the sacred sound and music industry, and it's a deep spiritual industry, and proven by physics, by science, by everything, that sound affects everything, even the water you drink, right?
You can put an intention into water and it changes the molecular structure.
I can take a picture
Yeah.
with water and drink it. And for example, I can say I'm love and healing and light and all that, and I drink it.
Yeah.
After a while, the message is embedded in the water. It's locked, so it
Yeah.
goes to my cells. So everything is sound. Even God, when he created the world, in Arabic, he said kun fayakun. It means be done. And everything was created with a sound. So what happens is that the intention of the singer, when they were singing the song, the intention of the singer, the words they're saying, the frequency of the music, 4.25, 4.35, 4.11, all of that affects you. And you know, now after doing a lot of work, when I listen to music, you can feel the anger in the tone, and you're like, I don't want to hear this. He was angry, and whatever it's a spell. He's putting a spell with the music, and the spell is, what am I? 80% water, right? So everything I'm hearing goes to the water in my body, and it creates the reality. It creates everything inside. So as crazy as it sounds, I love Tupac. I love me Backstreet Boys. But I started listening to it like once a month, once every blue moon. I'm always listening to conscious music. And the effect on even when I have a flu, it doesn't last long. When I'm sick, I don't have a downtime. That music it's a prayer. It lifts you, lifts your DNA.
I don't know what the frequency is set at, but the frequency of all music and all radio stations is set at a frequency
that is not good.
That's not good for you.
Of course. Yeah. It's an industry standard. And this was changed, I think, if I'm not mistaken, like I think 40, 50, 60 years ago. They made a decision in the music industry to like take off the healthy frequency, the good frequency, the God frequency, because if we keep listening to good frequencies, we'll get awakened. And if we're awakened, we can't be controlled. So what's the best way to control you? Put you in the sleeper's effect through music, through movies, to all of that. They numb you. It does numb you. And whatever that person was feeling when they were singing the song, were they angry? Were they heartbroken? It goes to you. So their emotions goes to you. And I'm 80% water. So imagine how that affects me. You're saying I could put intention in water. You are water. What are you putting in yourself is important. So yeah, just conscious music now. And it makes a big difference with meditation, especially. If I meditate without music, I would need 10 minutes to get in. With the music, 3 minutes I'm in. 2 minutes I'm in meditation. Deep meditation. Image, visions, everything. So it does help. It does.
Do you reckon you'll ever live back in America?
No. The Energies America is not great. I've done 4 years on and off. It was fun. I love the experience. It shaped me, but I'm never going back there. I love visiting, but I cannot live there. No, it's especially right now. The energy of the earth is shifting. I don't know if you know about New Earth and all that and everything.
Aren't we going into the age of Aquarius, isn't it?
Yeah. So the energy is shifting, and the world is splitting its energy into two energies: old Earth and New Earth. People who worked on themselves, high vibration, they go to New Earth. And people who are low vibe, they stay in old Earth. It's not a destination, two different destinations. It's the same place, but frequency-wise, we're different. And we don't click anymore.
Guys, over the last 5 years, you've watched me travel around the world building this podcasted in 9 countries with over 200 entrepreneurs. And one of the key things that I've learned is that every single one of these successful people have a playbook. They have a play-by-play of how they're going to operate their life, their mindset, and everything else, so they can scale. So they can scale their money, their business, their life, and everything. I want to break that down for you. So what I've done is I've set up a weekly email that's going to be going live week in, week out, giving you a play-by-play of some of these the most top entrepreneurs in the world, so you can understand how they're executing on their plan, so you can execute on it too. If this is something that interests you, click the link, sign up to the email below, and that'll be coming out weekly.
I was talking to a spiritual girl yesterday, my friend Molly. She's in the, I call her a bit woo-woo, right? Yeah. She is, but she really does help me, and she helps me identify things that I can't even see as a man in certain areas of my life, and the profound effect she's had is mad. But she was telling me that for the next 20 years that we're in a cycle of whereas like people could push the wrong narratives and get away with it for the last 20 years, this next 20 years that we're going into is all about truth. It's all about rebirth. It's all about exposing systems, exposing things that have been hidden behind the curtain. Is that kind of the same thing?
What do you think is happening to P. Diddy? What do you think is happening to Blake Lively? What do you think is happening to all these people, all celebrities? It's the downfall of the biggest people in the biggest industries, that people worship them, idolize them. Look who they are. Look what they're doing.
When you were over in America, did you hear about some of this stuff going on behind the scenes?
In what sense?
Like all this the satanic stuff and all that. Yeah.
I had a lot of friends in the music industry, big names, and they told me a lot of things. But in the end, if you think about it, it's not just the music industry, the film industry. In every industry, you have people like that. Even in the food industry, you have people like that. Even in the alcohol industry, you have people like that. There are darkness and light in everything, right? So yeah, in the music industry, in Hollywood, it's huge. But I love it because there's a huge awakening in Hollywood. If you see, even now when movies are in the cinema, it's not like it used to before. Nobody goes to watch cinema anymore. Nobody's out. Things have changed. They're no longer in power. And since last year, the truth has been coming out strong. And for the next 20 years, trust me, everything's going to change. You either join the ride, or you either stay behind.
Do you think AI is a good thing or a bad thing for humanity?
Both. It's a good thing because it assists life. It makes life easy. But it's also a sword with two edges. And it can be the end of us, basically.
Did you see the rise of DeepSeek?
Yeah, they screwed everybody in America.
You know, like 8 to 10 million build is just literally like put on the back seat a build that cost billions of dollars. 5
million, no? Was that the cost?
No, between 8 and 10 million they built it for.
And then the others have built it for 150 million.
More, billions. Billions.
It's, you know what? And that's also truth. When you're hiding things from people, when you're charging for everything, instead of benefiting humanity, you're taking their weaknesses and making money and thinking of everything as a commercial thing without boundaries or guide. AI can kill us in the end. But you see what they did. They just showed you that everything can be shattered with something that's honest, real, and open. That's it.
Do you think we're far from AGI?
To be honest, it's unpredictable. Look at how fast things are moving. How old are you, Frankie? 30?
Here we go. 36.
36. Okay. Yeah. So you're my generation. We've witnessed basically no phones to phones, no internet to internet, no this to this. So we are the last generation that have witnessed all of that, you know? And if you look at life now, it's everything's switching back. Everything's going back to being truth and honest and all that. Everything's falling back. Even time is getting slow again. Time used to be so fast. January is not ending. It's like, when is January ending? So a lot of things are changing. Just people embrace and understand that no matter what you've been hiding, in the next 10, 20 years, everything's going to come out. Nothing can hide anymore. The truth is coming out.
Do you think Elon's a force for good or a negative force in this world?
I think both. I think he means well, but his excitement takes him so far that he doesn't know how much this can be damaging. Like, if I heard him once say, "Oh, this Neuralink thing in the head or whatever, it can help people overcome disease." It can. I've overcome 2 diseases I have on my own without a chip in my brain, because I am a powerful being. I am part of Source, and I knew and I learned, because healing is a technique. You learn it, you can do it to yourself. And I didn't need a Neuralink in my head. So I get where he's coming from, but at the same time, what's going to happen to humanity? If now we have chips in our heads, what happened to God? Everyone wants to play God. Change the weather, change the mind, change the... we just let people be. And I don't like the vision. I don't like the movement, but I don't know. I mean, they usually say Hollywood shows you shows you what they're going to do in the truth in movies. And everything they showed us so far happened. Terminator was a good movie.
I, Robot was a good movie.
iRobot was a good movie.
iRobot showed us everything that's coming down the track.
But that's them confessing to you, no? Because the elites have to confess when they do stuff.
Well, if we're talking about the truth-seeking movement, in order to not have karmic retribution to what you do in this world, you need to first show the people that you're going to do it to, and then they have to accept it as their reality. So
but who made this rule?
It's a karmic rule.
It's not a karmic rule. If I show you, then I can kill you. If I show you I'm going to kill you, then I can kill you. Then karma's not going to come.
No. That's not what I said.
What?
No. I'm saying if you show an outcome ahead of time, like in terms of how the world's going to change, like it's a law of, I can't think of the word. It's one of the karmic laws where
it's not a karmic law. It's a Illuminati elite law.
Okay.
So
explain.
If you read about it a lot, like the elites of the world, God bless their souls, the elites of the world, they have a rule. If you go search the rules of being Illuminati or all these things, and one of the rules is that if they are going to do anything, they have to show it first, and that takes their karma away. That's not a universal law.
Right.
That's a law they've done within themselves. They thought this takes away the karma. They thought. So what they do is they put all the signs and the truth in The Simpsons, and then they will do it to you. But they're like, we showed them already. The karma's gone. It's not. It's just an Illuminati mindset, satanic mindset of how to do things. But it's not how the universe works. It'll get to you. Like you did this, you will get whatever you deserve in return. Just because you showed it to me and warned me about it, it doesn't erase any karma. But that's the karmic mindset of satanic cults and all that. They all do that. I've read so much deep into this, and I've had a friend, not a friend. I knew a guy who was a celebrity who was part of a cult, and he left, and he said the same thing. He said it's stupid how the law is that I need to show you what I'm doing, and if I show it to you in a movie or if I say it in a song, I've cleared my karma. I've told you, now I can do it. He's like, it's stupid how much they believe in it, but he's like, karma comes back. Because the law of the universe is way stronger than the law of Earth, or whatever laws we create.
Do you think that some of these, strange deaths that we see in Hollywood and stuff like that, do you think that's like a ritual killing or a karmic killing, like types?
They do a lot of shit in Hollywood. Like there's documentaries. Like, don't even listen to me. There's documentaries on TV, filmed, leaked images, footages of rituals and all that. They do rituals. They sacrifice. The thing is, this is the sad part about money and fame, right? Some people don't mind going to the end of the world for it, and if it means if it means that I have to undress myself from all my morals, my ethics, my integrity, so I can be bigger and more powerful, great. That's what they do in Hollywood. A lot of people do that. But then you see there are so many celebrities who don't. If you think of all the singers that were such a hit in the 90s, 2000, where are they now? It's because they never felt like they can confirm or like be part of that movement. So they fell off behind the wagon. If you don't do what we want, you're not going to be famous. You want to be famous, you got to wear the skirt. As a man, you got to put the lipstick on. You got to do this. You got to do that. You got to do this. Some people don't want to do it. And I know a lot of celebrities who didn't do it and they fell. No matter how much music they make and it's good, they never reach the top because they're disowned by the industry because they didn't agree to do whatever they wanted to do. So it is dark. It is dark. It is not for the weak, because if you agree to what they want, you're weak. It's not for the weak, and you'll fall in that trap. But everything, like in the past, I'd say 3 years, the truth that's coming out from Hollywood is unreal. People you idolize, people you loved, the guy who killed Tupac, now you got Diddy, now you have Blake Lively's thing, now you have this, everything is coming out. Nothing is staying a secret anymore. And this power game is gone. There's so many awakened souls. There's no more you can control people anymore with that bullshit. It doesn't work anymore. And this is why you see all the news about aliens. videos.
You love the aliens as well.
I love aliens.
Yeah.
So you see all these videos and information, but we're still living normally. They found out aliens live in the ocean. There's still cruises happening in the ocean. People don't care. You know why?
Stop.
What?
What do you mean there's aliens living in the ocean? They found out.
No, they found out that aliens are not based in space. They're based in the ocean, right?
Yeah.
But there's still cruises happening. Bahamas cruise, all that. People don't care. They're watching the news and they don't care because they're done with this shit. They don't know what to believe anymore. They know that probably the American government's like bullshitting them as well like that. So they don't know.
Talk to me about aliens, because like I don't know anything about aliens.
Okay.
Right? I'm a new man to the alien space.
Okay.
Tell me what I need to know about aliens.
You are an alien. It's true. You don't belong to Earth. You're a soul that came from like God knows where, from like another place. You're visiting Earth. You're an alien too.
Okay.
You know who's not an alien? The trees, the animals, they're not aliens. We are. Because they belong there. They've always been there. But alien is anything basically that is unidentified to you because it doesn't look like you. So it can be something from a different civilization, different lifetime, different different dimension. It can be so many things.
So is this like you say, like, you know how some women say they're a starseed or they're a light worker or they've been sent here from...
We're all starseeds.
Okay.
We're all starseeds.
Explain.
In Islam, in my religion, it's, I don't know, what are you, Christian?
Christian.
Yeah. Okay, so in Christianity, what did it say? Adam was the first human?
Yeah.
Okay. So in Islam, it said Adam was the first human. But then if you read into the Quran a little bit, it says that when God told the angels that I'm going to put Adam as my representation on earth, the angels replied and told God, so you're going to put a human on earth so he can spill blood and spread lies? Why would they say that about a planet that has no civilization or life? That means there was a civilization before Adam. But we are more sophisticated. Adam was sophisticated, brain, can think, can do that. The others are different civilizations. That's why some of us are short, some of us are darker, some of us are lighter, some of us have different hair. It's because we come from different origins, different civilizations.
And have you ever read into like the pyramids?
Of course.
So what's your thesis on the pyramids? Because this interests me.
So it's a different civilization that did it, not humans. We don't have the power to do this, nor the technology, nor the intelligence to do it. I don't know what have civilizations got erased? Yes, if you look at some bones of humans, they're way taller than us. So people look different, they acted different, they lived different back then, right? So it's definitely not our size of humans, it's a different civilization. But every single transcript or like, what do you call it? Like the calligraphy the Egyptians left behind, the Assyrians left behind, the people of the Mayans left behind. They all speak about a civilization that came to Earth and created life, and then humans came and they merged their seeds with humans and they created whatever they created.
Well, even some of the old like years gone by folklores from Aboriginal tribesmen say that like there's other entities visiting the Earth to oversee certain stuff.
Yeah,
and it's one of the oldest civilizations left on this Earth.
Yeah, and the thing is, different civilizations came, they married each other, they got children, they tried to create a civilization on Earth, and a lot of things happened. But, God made us the most sophisticated version of whatever is going to be on Earth. And we are. Look at our mind, look at how we heal our body when we get a cut, how we eat, how we digest, how we release waste. So we are a piece of art. We're a miracle. But starseeds, we're all starseeds. We're not just soul and body. The body has other elements to it. Like where my DNA, where does it come from? And that body, where does it come from?
There was I watched this CCTV footage from a hospital where someone had just died, and you see like an energy leave their body, and then obviously you see the energy come back into the body, and then you see them resuscitate the person, and it's like it just looked as if like this whole piece of energy could leave you and then come back into you, and it's just like they say when you're asleep that you're attached to ethereal. It's ethereal. I'm murdering the explanation, but what do they call that?
It's astral projection.
Yeah.
So basically, I do this. I learned how to do this with healing, with spiritual practices. Anyone can leave their body.
Because the CIA actually wrote a whole document on astro projection and
Yeah.
how you can actually do it.
There's
because
a university called the Monroe Institute. They teach it, a whole freaking university in America. What are you talking about? It's a huge thing. And then the government used it to spy on a couple of things. But you need to understand something about astral projection.
Okay.
There is laws in the universe, and God did give you gifts. But if you use your gifts to spy on people or to listen to things or to start wars and all that, you're misusing a gift, so karma comes back to you. So you cannot use it for bad, for ill.
Well, so apparently when you astro project, if you astro project and you leave your body to go into the ethereal realms,
Yeah.
you there is an opportunity that you can get trapped out there, and that's
No.
when you die, right?
No, never, ever, ever. Nobody can get trapped there. It's a lie to scare you from not doing it. You
Right.
cannot get trapped there.
Okay, so as you can do it, how
Yeah.
if someone wanted
So-
to do it, how could they do it?
So this needs like a whole podcast because I can teach it to you. But at the same time, you need to understand just small points. You cannot die having that experience. Can you have a bad experience? Yes, as in like instead of astral projecting somewhere positive, based on your mindset. Let's say you're broken, you're hurt, so you go lower vibration.
So this is equivalent to
Yeah.
doing a mushroom journey, and if you're in the wrong mindset before a mushroom journey, you'll end up in a negative place. And if you, so basically, it will show you what it needs to show you at that time that you need to work on,
Yes.
whatever it is.
Totally.
Right, okay.
So, but when it comes to like plant medicine, is different because plant medicine you are seeing visions, right? With astral projection, you're not seeing vision. You're not even in your body anymore. You're physically left, which happens with some plant medicine. Okay.
So I've listened to some people talk about this, and it's like you can get to a point where you can observe your own body asleep.
Yeah. I can turn and look down and see myself. And then I remember when I first did it, I panicked. So I used to drop in my body because I was like, what the hell is going on? But it takes at least 3 years to perfect it because you have to get over steps of fear every time you try it. And when you do it, do not think of like, you cannot say, I want to go see what my boyfriend's doing. Is he cheating on me? Or I need to go check what my boss is doing. Yeah. Or you cannot say, I want to go to the black hole. What's happening in space? Don't go to any dark places because that's when you have a bad trip.
Where do you go?
When I first started, I said, the thing is, it used to happen to me when I was a kid. And then my mom numbed it in me. She told me, no, it's in your head. It's not true. So I kind of numbed my gift. And it's not, we all have this gift. I numbed what was natural to me, and my mom made it unnatural. Then it came back at the age of 25 and it started hunting and wanted to happen. And how it starts is with sleep paralysis. And I know a lot of people think that sleep paralysis is
a bad
negative thing.
Yeah.
Well, they told us this because if we went into sleep paralysis and we kept on going in the journey feeling positive, it's the beginning of astral projecting, a beginning of it. So I used to fight it, and I always ended up somewhere negative, feeling bad and all that. And until when I learned, and I remember I laid down and I said, God, every time I've astral projected, it's been unconditional. Like either I'm sleeping at night or in my bed. I don't choose. I want to choose to do it now. And then I learned all the tricks. I learned everything. I've had a couple of downloads. And I remember look, you have to be, first of all, alone. You cannot have people next to you when you do it. Okay? You can't leave your body. And you can, but it's dangerous. You shouldn't be doing it around people. Number one. Number two, there has to be a right frequency playing in the background. So there's certain sounds.
So there's a preset.
Yeah, because the frequency is like, if you Google types of frequency and what they do, you will see it's breaking down online. The frequency of God, the frequency of connecting with the universe, the frequency of healing, the frequency of calming down, sleeping. So if I choose the frequency of like astral up, okay, and that's the frequency, and I play it, what happens is my frequency will join it. So I'm on the same radio channel now. Right. My energy with the energy of like the universe, right? And I remember your legs have to be straight, no crossed legs, no crossed arms.
Yeah, because you're basically saying subconsciously that you don't want to go.
No, you're blocking exit. You're blocking energy.
Right, yeah, because it's not a clean exit. Because one leg's over the other, it can't. It
has to
rise.
be. You're an antenna. You have to be straight. If I bend your antenna, you will not get a good signal, right? Keep the antenna straight. Oh my God. Okay. Hand has to be like this, in this shape. It's not a triangle, guys. It's just that you have to touch all your fingers, okay, in this way. And then you have to put it in this way between your navel and your crotch area. So in between them, you have to touch all the fingers, because this is energy and this energy, they have to combine. So you put it like this here, and you take a deep sleep, and then you just choose a destination, as in like.
When you say a destination, what are you?
Like, for example, I can say I just want to go see my mom. I miss my mom, or I just want to go to the pool inside my house. I'm back because I'm still a beginner.
So you've physically met people that have passed, or are you meeting people in a future reality, or where are you meeting?
No, I'm meeting them right now, but my body is somewhere and my ethereal, my spirit is somewhere else.
Right. Okay. So you're saying like
I'm not seeing future or past.
Your mum's in England right now.
Yeah,
she's on a holiday.
I want to see her. I miss her.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go and I'm gonna visit.
Yeah.
And oversee what she's doing.
Yes. Not oversee. Intention is important. Oversee what she's doing is you're taking away free will from her, which means she has a free will to live a life. Why are you looking at it?
Okay. Do you think there's people out there that know how to do this, that are actively there trying to play you as a puppet master?
Yes.
So like someone could be in here now and be like trying to force me to ask questions about certain topics.
No, they cannot manipulate you in this way, but they can manipulate a lot of other things. For example, like I remember once I was astral projecting, but that not by choice. It was like I was sleeping, and then I saw this woman. She was like wearing full black, like, you know, a wedding dress, but full black. And my bed has curtains, and she was standing behind the curtains, and I looked at her, and then she told me, basically, she looked at me, she told me, I told her, what the fuck do you want? What are you doing here? And I cannot move because I'm in sleep paralysis, right? And I can only see her with my eyes. And she's like, if you want to ascend, you cannot descend. Like, basically in words, like, if you don't heal your traumas, you have a gift. But I
don't know what you said just then, but it just made my body just go weird.
No, so basically what she's saying is that if you can astral project, and it's normal, but if you want to go high vibration, you have to work on your inner traumas, because without working on your inner traumas, what happens, you're going to have sleep paralysis, you're going to go to negative things. Like, a lot of people say, I saw dark spirits, I saw negative things in sleep paralysis, someone was touching me, a black figure was next to me, a ghost. Why? It's because internally you're not good. So the navigation is going 2D.
Do you think then that some people that have seen these like paranormal activities where they'll be in this podcast studio, for argument's sake, and that book will fly off the thing, do you reckon that's because someone's astral projected themselves into this situation and thrown the book off the shelf?
You cannot touch anything when you astral project. Right. You're just
right.
an
You
energy.
can only be.
I can only be there. I cannot take a glass. I cannot manipulate you. Hide things. No, I cannot.
You cannot say something in someone's ear.
I can hear.
But you can't speak into someone's life.
Yeah, but you have to have discernment to not put yourself in a situation where you're going to hear anyone, because then you're taking away free will. Okay? You cannot cheat. But what you can do is, like, for example, let me give you an example of, okay, like, let's say if a book fell off the shelf, that's not someone astral projecting. That's like energies, because we are 3D beings. There are 2D ghosts and all that. There's lower tiers of frequencies that other entities live on that we cannot see because we're cosmically blind. Like, I cannot see every light. I cannot see every color. Neither can you. We're cosmically, literally blind. Cats can see things better than us. Dogs can see things better than us. So there must be an entity there, but I'm cosmically blind to 2D energy. I'm 3D, so I cannot see him. And he dropped the book. So anything is possible. Don't overthink it a lot. But I can give you one piece of advice, is that I never see, when I was young, I used to see a lot of like scary negative visions, things, okay? Now I don't see them, because negative ghost or like demons or whatever it is, 2D beings, whatever, they feed on fear. So if you're scared, you will see them, they'll come to you, they'll try to get to you. A lot of people have possessions, you'll get possessed only if you have fear. They feed on fear. It's like, the minute you say, I'm scared, it's a tunnel. It opens, and that's access for them to get inside of you.
Yeah, so you create the portal.
Yes, but if I fear none, I swear to God, I walk alone. I put a fire outside my house in the dark alone. I sleep in the dark. I walk in the dark. I do everything. I love it. I see nothing. I hear nothing, because I have no fear. I have me and I have God. I have no fear of anything. And if I see anything negative, I just pass. I just don't care, because it cannot affect me. I will only become a host if I have fear. Fear is the portal. I open a door for you.
So if you open the portal, could an entity take over your body?
Yes.
Right.
Because think about it in this way. 2D, what is 2D? It's spirits that are dying to experience 3D. They want to touch, they want to touch a door, they want to eat, they want to drink. What do demons do? They go through walls because they're energy, they're two-dimensional. Okay.
So when you see like,
So they want a body. So and what the demon would say, or the ghost would say is, the reason I took over the body is because I want to live. I want a life. I want you, and you're weak. You didn't deserve it, so I took yours.
because when you see like some people that have been overtaken by drugs, or they've been overtaken by alcohol or sex addiction, like you see people like they haven't got the sparkle in their eyes anymore. It feels like an entity's entered them and has taken over their body for that period of time, and that's why they're doing those low vibrational activities.
100%. Everything has a spirit. Water has a spirit. Fire has a spirit. Alcohol has a spirit. That's why alcohol is called alcohol. Al-Ghul. Al-Ghul it's in Arabic. It means like demon. You know.
Yeah.
So everything has a spirit in it. So when you associate yourself with like porn addiction, or let's say drug addiction or alcohol addiction, you're literally allowing your body to be a playground for these spirits to enjoy. Because if I drink a lot of alcohol, I'm always drunk. I'll do stupid things. I'll do dumb things. I'll forget. What better investment for a dark spirit to come into you, but you're the best investment for them, because now they can use you to do anything they want in life: kill, lie, have accidents, cheat, burn things. This is why don't allow low vibration things to come to you. And I'm not judging anyone that drinks, you know. I have friends that drink occasionally, but it's low vibe, so don't indulge a lot in it. Watch out how much you take of everything, because a lot of everything is poison. Even if it's a good thing, it's still poison. So yeah, I mean, if you're curious about astral projecting, like I'd say the best way to learn about it is not to watch TikTok or watch all these pages, because they tend to scare you. Go research the Monroe Institute. And if you've had that experience, you're not weird. It's a normal phenomena. We're just been taught to numb it down and just make it disappear. But it's within us. We all have it. We can all practice it. So I don't want people to be scared. When you get sleep paralysis, don't fight it. Surrender to it and watch what happens.
This is why I want to sit down with you, because I knew our conversation would go over we've gone from relationships
from this
to astral
aliens,
projection to aliens. We've gone all over the shop. I've included this question specifically in the podcast because I wanted to find a way to make the guest articulate something that they've never really spoken about before, but they've always wanted to be asked. So if there's one thing that you've always wanted to be asked on a podcast, or one topic you've ever wanted to discuss that you've never ever touched upon before, what would that be?
Actually, there is a topic. People and I wish people would ask, but they never ask. And I remind podcasters to ask, but they forget to ask, because we get indulged.
You never reminded me, just FYI.
No, you know. So I think there is one thing that people don't talk about, and it's like, okay, once you do the work, once you do the healing, and you heal from attracting toxic partners, and you heal from your childhood trauma, and now you want to attract positive men or women. People don't talk about how hard it is. Not letting go of getting used to toxic people or attracting them. That's the easy part to get rid of. The hard part is how to be with a person that is not toxic. It's very hard. How to be with a person that's safe. How to be with you're not used to. You're used to chaos. You're used to drama. You're used to fighting. So how do you make peace not boring? Because peace sounds boring when you're used to drama, right? So
but you've become addicted to it.
Yeah. So my biggest challenge after healing, when I was meeting people and trying to move on, is how do I be with a healed man? I don't know how to do it. And only a patient divine man would take a woman, or a divine woman would take a man who's healed from toxic relationships and show them that it's okay to be with me. Let me teach you how to be with me. Let me show you how to be with me. So people don't talk about it. It's very hard. It's harder than being with a toxic person. It's because you see a good potential. You see someone great, but you're self-sabotaging now.
Because you're putting a fence around yourself because of the work that you've done, potentially.
Not only a fence. It's like, I don't know how do I act now?
Who am I?
How do I love him? Is this right? Is this wrong? Is he supposed to do more? So that is harder than losing the toxic trait, and they never talk about it, and it's a struggle. It took me at least a year to understand it.
And often.
You become toxic.
You'd say to yourself, is it really meant to be this good? Is it really meant to be this peaceful? Because you're questioning your own self-worth and that comes down to you still feeling like you might not deserve the relationship that you're
or
going
your
into.
self-love needs tuning, you know?
Yeah. So you've gone and healed all these different traumas, different wounds within yourself.
Totally.
But then you kind of like, oh, does that actually mean I'm worthy of love? Does that, you know what I mean? And that's a whole self-acceptance piece as a man or a woman that you have to go through as well, and be willing to face and go through and feel it as well.
But that also shows you something. It shows you the internal, yes, you've healed your past traumas, but you're still struggling with self-love.
Yeah.
Because if you love yourself, you would not self-sabotage a good relationship or question it. Just go be. Just be with that person. And if it works, it works. It doesn't. But yeah, it's like, it's hard. It's not easy. And people don't talk about it after healing. It's being with the right person is hard. You know, it's not easy.
I knew our conversation would be an eventful one. I always knew
always.
It's always. Even before we started the podcast, we were
Yeah.
going back on. I think we probably covered another 10 topics before.
I
the
know.
podcast. So I'm sure we'll have a recording of that, and we'll put it out in some clips. But if there was one piece of golden wisdom that you can just drop on every single one of this audience today that will move them 1% forward in their life from this moment, what would it be to you?
I'd give two. Number one is do the inner work, do the healing. And when you heal, it's a way to tell yourself, I love myself and I honor my journey, everything I've been through, but I'm ready for something new. And only when you do the work, you're ready for something new. But if you keep hopping from relationship to relationship or thing to thing, you're literally repeating the same cycle, and it will not stop until you learn. And if you see yourself stuck in a cycle where you're still attracting wrong friends, still attracting wrong business partners, still attracting wrong life partners, the problem is not them, the problem is you. The problem is within you. And I'm not saying they're good people, they might be bad, but we have no control over people. We have control over us, you. So if you feel like you're stuck in a cycle, then a pattern or habits, you need to go back and check yourself. Stop blaming people, stop pointing fingers. Take that finger, point it at yourself, and look what's wrong with you. Why are you attracting all these people? So it's very important. That's the first thing. Second thing is, I love, this is my favorite quote, okay? And it's by Rumi. And it just, it's not just beautiful poetic words, but once you do the work and you look at his words, you understand deeper than just poetry. He says, between what's right and wrong, there's a garden, I'll meet you there. Which is an advice I want to give everyone listening, is that just because things are different or people are different or you're wrong, they're right, it doesn't matter. Between what's wrong and right, there's a garden, I'll meet you there. It's a place where we can meet in the middle, where I'm not right, I'm not wrong. It doesn't matter who I am, doesn't matter who you are. We can meet and just coexist with love and no judgment. So I love this quote about him. And if people just applied this in life instead of judging and running away from anyone that's different, like, what people do is when they face something different, they either fight it or run away from it. Fight or flight, But accepting, loving, and understanding that there is a place where I don't have to be right or wrong. I can just be. And I love it when he said, there's a garden, let's meet me there. And just apply it in life, and you'll see how life changes. And you'll see that the less the judging, the more the loving, And there's space for all of us to exist.
And I think the healing, like you said, has to be done before you can start to remove the layers of judgment, and start to unpack all of that stuff.
Yeah. Even like, Frankie, it's crazy. Even like a lot of women, when they judge other women for the way they dress, for example, she's too naked. Look at the way she's dressed. Oh my God, she's so cheap and all that. The truth is, there's nothing wrong with the woman that's dressed like that. Something is wrong with you if you're judging her like that. And it talks about a part of you that you're struggling with. Because you cannot dress like that. You cannot be free. You're stuck in your own limitations. So yeah, it's like, even when you judge others, the problem is in you. It's not in people. Trust me. Yeah. But I would leave you with something beautiful that I read today. I actually shared it on my story, and it says he asked her. A man asked a woman and said, "We were born to break the matrix. We were born to break the system. Are you ready to break the system with me?" And then the woman replied and said, "I hope you can walk through fire, because the system exists within you." So it's not the world that's limiting you. It's not the matrix on the outside. You are the matrix. It's your limiting beliefs. It's you who are stopping you. You're a prisoner of your own thoughts. And only when you realize that if you want to go to war with the system and the matrix, the war starts within you. You are the system. You are the matrix. You are the limitation.
everything that I'm trying to overcome is always an internal problem.
100%.
Always internal.
100%.
Like
Judgment, everything.
it's all like, as a man, you go out and judge the world just vicariously as being a man. Like judgment is within every man, like especially within men, because we're taught to go out and judge the world.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm still trying to let go of these different judgments, these different things. Why have I got an opinion on that? Why does this bother me? Why? You know what I mean? I'm always trying to look internal for that.
But you see this conversation you're having with yourself, like, why am I doing that? This is important. People don't have that. When I go home, and I'm not going to say I'm perfect. I still judge sometimes. I'm still a human, right? But when I judge, I hold immediately. I self-reflect. I'm like, oh, that was judgment. That was not discernment. And I apologize to the person. When I go home, if I haven't apologized, I apologize the next day. So having that internal conversation with you, it's like, I don't care what people think of me. I care what I think of me. So before I have this conversation with you about whether what I did was wrong or right, I want to have it with myself. So it's very important to look back and say, why am I judging? Why do I have an opinion? Why does it bother me?
Every day that goes by, I write down things where I've made predetermined judgments from a day, and I try and analyze where that's coming from internally.
And then you realize there's a lot of shit within you.
And that made me realize, holy fuck, I'm pretty healed as a guy in terms of like the masses. I'm pretty sound, but I've still got all this work. I've still got loads of work to do.
But I love that you put your ego aside, because a lot of men would look and say, there's nothing wrong with me, I'm okay. But I love that, because your ego is aside, like, excuse me, sir, okay, I have a problem still. And that's beautiful.
There's lots of things that will trigger all men within their psyche and all this, that, and other. And it doesn't. You don't have to go and tell loads of other random men about it. It's just between you and your journal. Like it's an internal conversation. There'll be parts of today I'll assess and be like, okay, why do you have an opinion on that? Why does that matter? Why does that matter specifically to you, Frankie? Okay, cool. You got an opinion on that. That seems like an external opinion, but it's not. That's an internal one. Okay, where does it come from? Okay, 3 layers deep now. Okay, cool. So you mean when someone said this to me at this time, and that means that, and you start to unlock a door, and then you start to really understand yourself more. So I don't ever judge my own self for judging something in the world, because I know, holy fuck, there's a lesson in this.
100%. Everything has a lesson.
Because when I say something and I'm like, and I even know when I'm saying it, I'm like, holy fuck, that's judgment. But I've said it now, so let's just live with it because I've said it. So I'm not going to judge myself for saying it. Otherwise, I'm doing the same thing, right?
Yeah.
But then I'll go back and I'll go, where does it come from? Okay, now I can stop doing that and I can box it off. Yeah. It's powerful if you can do that. But it takes the awareness piece is what.
But the awareness can't be present until you do the inner work. See, this is the problem. A lot of people, they want to get the awareness like shortcut. It doesn't work. How are you going to have awareness if you don't have awareness of who you are and what you've been through, and don't deassemble all of that? How do you want to have this conversation with yourself if you haven't done a lot of things in the background first? So awareness is a byproduct of healing. It's not a product to buy. You cannot get it on its own. It's a byproduct of healing. And no matter how much you practice awareness, if you're not done the work, it's all waste of time for you. It's great. I mean, I love the fact that you're practicing self-awareness, but have you done the work? Because awareness is a byproduct. Spirituality is a byproduct. Connecting with divine is a byproduct. Having a strong intuition is a byproduct of doing the inner work. There's no shortcut to it.
I think for me, I mean, the work's been continuous over a long period of time, and it's not stopping. Like it's not slowed down.
It never
stops. It's like it's more and more and more. Like I've done mushroom journeys, I've done this, done that. It's everything. It's like it's breakups. It's a lot. It's like, what am I learning about this? What am I learning about that? Okay, what did that teach me? Where should I have set a boundary here? What didn't I look at there? Why have I looked at that like that? Oh, is that because of something my dad said to me when I was 8 years old? You know, did I learn that because boxing taught me that? But is that a framework for life going forward here? Does that ego that I picked up here help me move forward here? All these things. But it's once you sit and start really assessing what you do, like when I listen back to my conversations on a podcast, I'm always looking for like, okay, where am I trying to project here? Like, you know what I mean? What's the lesson in this projection that I'm making? Because, and like I said to people, I'm trying to say to everyone, don't judge yourself for making a projection, because that takes you into a whole nother cycle. Observe the projection and then understand where it comes from, and then try your best to not make that again. And then just keep working on that. And that is the constant cycle of evolution as a man, I reckon.
Truly. And also, like, another advice for situations like these is like, and people always probably hear this online when people say, observe, don't observe. Observe, don't observe. What does it mean? It means if I see something and I don't like it, and I'm looking at it, I can observe it, I can think about it, I like this, I don't like this, what is this, what is that? But don't observe, as in, like, don't leave a party because a girl walked in dressed in a way you wouldn't approve. Like, why are you observing that energy and you're allowing it to take control of your day? So don't observe it. And you know, the good thing is, I realize now what I started to do is, for example, let's say if I say something to you, I would be quiet for like a minute. I go like, wait, I just judged him. No. And then immediately I'd fix it on the spot. Because I'm self-awareness. I'm not just talalululu flying in the air and moving around left and right. I am precise. I'm focused. I know exactly where I'm going, where I'm heading, how I'm thinking. It's always a step ahead. And that's what emotional intelligence is just observing everything and understanding how to handle things. Yeah, but I don't observe it. Like, I feel the feeling, but I don't become the feeling. Like, I feel upset for like a little bit, but I'm not sad.
You practice the law of attachment.
Yeah, 100. I've zero attachment. I have no attachment. But also, it's also very important for a lot of people, because I don't want people to listen to this and go gaslight themselves at home. And every time they see anything bad, no, they're not bad. I am bad. I'm thinking bad. No. You have to understand that there are situations where you are judging, and there are situations where things are bad, and you have to have an opinion. It's called discernment, right? So if I see someone selling cocaine in a party, I'm not going to go home and say, oh my God, I judged the cocaine guy. Why was he? I'm the bad person. Maybe he was just doing it for money. No, don't gaslight yourself like that. When you see something wrong, it is wrong. But when you're judging, understand, when are you judging and when do you have discernment? It's two different things.
But the closer you get to yourself, the easier it is to discern.
100%.
And that's where the inner work comes in and takes us back to the
And this is all a byproduct of what? Healing.
Yeah.
You cannot cheat your way into...
I love it. And I appreciate you coming on here and dropping value the second time. And I reckon we'll do a third marathon episode at some point. I might even get you out to the US.
What do you guys want us to talk about? Shapeshifters, what, reptilians?
Drop it in the comments on YouTube and hit me up on the DMs and we'll get it. But guys, do me a solid favor, subscribe to this on every platform, and if you can, put this in a few other people's ears today and send the link on YouTube to a few other people. It helps more than you know, and I appreciate every single one of you listening. And that is Sara Al Madani.
Thank you.
Guys, I hope you got value from this podcast, and if you did, hit that subscribe button and turn the bell notifications on. But guys, I've got these videos here that will take you to a whole new level as well, so don't sleep on these.